Hello, good morning. My name is Harshal and I'm working with Google as a test automation lead. In fact, I recently joined Google Pixel team in Taiwan, and I have received so many requests, so many messages regarding share my experience with Google, share my interview journey. So I thought to create this video, and yeah, here I am. So the very first thing I would like to share, if you really want to get into the Google, you have to dream about it. You have to believe in yourself. Few years back when I used to discuss with my friends, my colleagues that hey, we should try Google, people used to say, hey, forget it. It's not our cup of tea. Being a QA engineer, being a test automation engineer, it's very difficult to go into the Google. But today I can say it's not true. It's possible to go get into the Google as a QA engineer or as a test automation engineer. So trust yourself and listen your inner voice. Not necessary you should be from IIT or NIT to go into the Google. In fact, for me, my personal background, I came from a rural background and I have completed my graduation from Government College of Engineering Karad, and I did my first job at Pune as a test engineer. It doesn't matter actually who you are and what is your background. What matters most is how desperately you are trying for Google, how hard you are preparing for Google. Is the same like how you were trying for your first girlfriend in your college life. So I would say consider Google as your first girlfriend and go for it. Try hard. Okay, jokes apart. Let's come to my journey. When I used to apply Google more often. When I had 2 or 3 years of experience, I started applying Google blindly. But more often, my resume used to reject it. Applying Google is like a black box testing. You just send the input and wait for the output. You never know what happens in between. So still we expect for the positive response, right? So same applies with Google is a big giant. Daily maybe they might be receiving thousands of resume, but why your resume will shortlist for shortlist only, right? So very first thing you have to work on is work on your resume. I did the same. I went on the Google. I searched, even I went on the Google only to search how we prepare our resume, what Google expect. Google needs data structure, Google needs algorithm, Google needs coding proficiency. So make sure your resume show all this stuff. I did the same, and fortunately few months back, finally that moment came, and I got an email from Google recruiter that my CV got shortlisted for one of the opportunity, one of the job profile I applied, and that moment was the best moment in my life. Soon I reply yes, and I scheduled my next interview. So yeah, let me go through the my interview process, which I currently gone through, and I mean basically it's a standard Google interview process. Okay, so I made some document for you. Google interview process is like when your resume gets shortlisted, you will get a recruiter call regarding the first meeting. So in my case, HR called me and scheduled the time. It was Google Meet, and first recruiter call will be a normal discussion, but HR may ask you the basic questions which are based on your college, based on your current experience, based on your current project, or etc. etc. He may ask you puzzles as well. So be ready with. I mean, don't take first call lightly, though it's come from HR. Once HR will shortlist you, then the real journey will start. So the first round will be the first telephonic coding round. So this round is really most important round because this is the first coding round, and you have to go into this round. Then only Google will call you for on-site interviews. And this will be the telephonic round. More often it will happen on Google Meet. And there are few tips for this coding round. It will be a 45-minute coding round, and you have to write a code on Google Doc. There is no other code editor, so you will not get any help regarding the syntax and all. Mostly Google interviewer, where the interviewer is put a question on Google Doc and you have to answer it. But since this interview limits 45 minutes, so the question won't be difficult, but definitely you might have not seen that question before. So few things you have to take care, like if the question you don't understand, you have to clarify the question with the Google interviewer. You have to discuss and you have to clear all your doubts. Then if you know that you found the solution, then maybe one question might have two or three different solutions. So you should discuss your solution with the interviewer, and according to his opinion, let's implement particular solution. And when you start coding, think loud. Let the interviewer know like what you are writing, what you are coding on each line. So if you may going wrong, he may assist you on that. Once you write your code, make sure you write all the test cases for that particular code, because this is what our role into the company when you go as a test automation engineer or test engineer. So make sure you cover all the test cases, null conditions and everything. Once you write a test cases, make sure go through the complexity of that the code which you wrote and explain the interviewer the entire complexity, because Google and all these big companies like Facebook, Google, Amazon, they deal with billions of data set. So the complexity and the performance of the program really matters. So being a QA, though you are not directly involved to write a code, like write a production code, you must good at analyzing the code, right? So you analyze the code, and I did well in my first round, so I moved into the next round. So next round are the on-site round. Usually there are 4 rounds and it happens to the Google campus. But considering current situation, current pandemic, all those rounds happen on Google Meet interview, video conference and one-on-one video conference. Yeah. So for test automation engineer, I did 4 rounds, and out of 2 are coding and test automation, coding and test plan. Third one was the system design interview, and fourth one was the googliness. In coding, same thing apply which we just discussed, like discuss with the interviewer, code on the Google Doc, go through the complexity, write the test cases. Considering my experience, I have 10 years of experience, so they asked me so many questions regarding test plan, test automation, test strategy. So you should be prepare all those stuff. System design is one of the common interview in Google. You can read much thing in YouTube as well about the same system design. Like you have to design one system from end to end, like the front end, back end API, the database, and whatever load balancing comes. Everything you have to discuss. So you will get all the helps on YouTube as on the same. So this will be the system design, and the googliness and the behavioral is most kind of leadership related round, behavioral round, where interview may ask you the question regarding your current project, your positive negative experiences in your previous experience, how will you manage this situation, how will you tackle with this situation, like yeah. So after completing this 4 round, the next round will be the team matching. I mean, still you are not done. If you clear all those round, the next round team matching means you will after completing this 4 round, you will be into the talent pool of the Google. And talent pool is something like where you are visible to all managers inside Google, and they will judge you. I mean, according to your skill set, resume, and the rating, they will show interest in you, and they will call you. They will schedule one-on-one with you. So that is what team matching. Then once manager will call you, he will explain about his team, she will explain about their team current work, she will understand your work and your interest, and both if you are satisfied, you can join that team. I mean, not directly join the team, I mean, manager say okay. So in this step, maybe it will happen like more than one manager will be interested in you. Then it's up to you to select the team, which manager you want to choose. In my case, I've been selected by 2 manager and I selected one team. Once that happen, yeah, the final step now, the manager will write a review for you, and entire your packet will go to the hiring committee for review. So hiring committee is the final step in Google. They will review all your packets means all your interview which happened previously, the rating of the interview given by the interviewer, the manager review, and finally they will say yes or no. In my case, yes, in the first attempt I got green signal, I got yes from hiring committee, and the next step is offer. Once HR will review the offer, and you send the offer, and you have review, and you have to accept it. uh, In my case, yeah, I accepted the offer for sure, and it was the best moment in my life that I will never forget. Few preparation tips I would like to share. So, what Google expect? So focus on this stuff. Big O notations. That is the complexity. Though I told earlier, though you are not directly involved to writing production code, you are involving to analyzing the complexity of developers code. So you must be good at analyzing the complexity. So go through all big O notations and make sure when you write your test code, you write with the open complexity. Uh, the array, sets, hash map, stack, all data structure, and dynamic programming, searching algorithm, sorting algorithm, and you should be good at basic analytics and basic computer science. Resources you can use: YouTube, LeetCode, HackerRank. I book even so many. I read so many books as well. Yeah, actually, this is all from my side. I mean, this is what I wanted to speak, and please share, like, subscribe this video, because very soon I am starting a video series on Java data structure program questions, which I prepared for the interview. It may help you. So if you subscribe, you will get updates. Thank you. It was nice speaking with you.